But look, we got Candace Owens, Nick Cannon. I'm pretty sure Candace Owens is she's just gonna spit straight facts, guys. I just want to react to it, and people get mad when I speak. Y'all get so mad. You keep telling me stop talking. That's really mean. It hurt my feelings. But look, I probably won't say too much. I feel like Candace will probably say everything that I feel like saying, but no promises. I might still talk. All right, let's watch the video, guys. I think it's gonna be good.
Back again on another edition of Council Culture, a brave space, a safe place to have open dialogue. And, we feel together, we reveal together so we can heal together. That's the whole purpose. And I am joined once again by the fearless and the powerful Candace Owens. Welcome back. Our last session ended where you were speaking your truth and some evident truths that a lot of people don't want to hear or agree with. And I ended with.
I'm already gonna pause it. I'm making you mad. Look. Am I the only one, like, when people say your truth, like, it's something in me, bro? I just cringe. I hate when people say, hey, you're speaking your truth, bro. You're either speaking the truth or you're speaking something that's not true. Like, there's no, like, your truth, my truth, his truth. Like, let's put that phrase to rest. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I know some of y'all mad. Stop talking. Nah, that's literally illegal. Like, look, I'm gonna put the original video in the description. I'm mad. Like, I'm manifesting. Nah, look, I'm gonna put the original video in the description. If you want to watch it without me in the little corner, this little weird black guy in the corner. If you don't want me here, go watch the original video.
The question which I want to start with is, like, one, being so fearless, how do you function through every day? I mean, you're also a mom of 3, and I mean, even I was surprised to, even when you showed up, I was like, it's regular, it's normal, and all that's going on in the world, you know what I mean? I would expect you to be traveling with Secret Service, just because of the type of things you speak on, the people that you speak on, and you do it in such a fearless way. How do you get away with that?
Well, the first thing is, I know enough about history to know that if they want to kill you, the Secret Service ain't going to stop them. That's the first part. You know what I mean? If that was a thing, then JFK would be alive, right? If that was a thing, Trump wouldn't have gotten shot. And so it's almost to me, the security part is vanity for other people. It doesn't actually make a difference. But the second thing is, I have faith in God. I know God is real. So there is this understanding that I'm always operating with, that this is not it. And I feel sad for people that don't know that God is real, because I know that they don't believe God is real because of this intentional training that happened in the public school system. It's why your grandparents are faithful. Going back to Tucker Carlson clip where he's like, don't you think it's weird that since the dawn of humanity, everybody knew that spiritual forces were at play, goodness and evil were at play, every civilization, and then suddenly post-World War II in the West, we were like, no, God's not real. And they started training you to believe in yourself. And that gets into all types of satanic religions that want to drive you towards humanism. They want that to be the ultimate faith, to place your faith in humans, to place your faith in science, and to not believe in God, like literally to not believe in God. And people, it's funny to me because they will be like, I don't believe in God. Like, and they think it's a rational position to have, but these will be the same people that believe so much in government. Like, atheists are the most faithful people in the entire world. They will, like what I was saying, hopping on one foot for COVID, trying to stay alive. They don't ask any questions, roll up their sleeve, get a vaccine. I'm like, bro, you got faith. It's just in humans, like, in the ultimate form, scientism. And they've realized that, and they know that they can control you. I mean, the stuff that you see people doing, it should make you very aware that they have faith, that there is no such thing as atheism. There's just faith in man.
Yeah, you've definitely spoken out that you're, anti-scientism. And scientism being the religion of science. But most people who rely and believe in science look at people who believe in God and spirituality as kooks and also slaves to, you're just going to go with these traditional rituals that have been placed in books and theories that really are based off of allegories. I'd rather go based off of scientific evidence of things that have been proven. What do you say to that?
I think that they probably should know that the Enlightenment was not enlightened. It was the darkening of mankind. The Dark Ages were not dark. They were actually an age of tremendous Christian enlightenment, and all of that stuff has been intentionally buried, and they are very much focused, moving the Bible out of the classroom. It used to be taught, and they want you to believe in nothing other than what they tell you. If you think, and I'll just give you just a perfect example. My children are not vaxxed. I am anti-vax, whatever name the science people are coming up with.
Right.
And it's just stunning to me that they were able to convince people that their babies are born wrong. Like, as soon as your baby comes out, science can fix it. Like, what do you mean? My baby just came out. You're talking about, well, right. They instantly need a Hep B vaccine. Wait a second, isn't hepatitis B, like, isn't that an STD? Yes, but they need this because, I'm like, this makes zero sense. You're just in the cult of science. It's stupid. The idea that God got it wrong, it's wild. And the funny thing is that the logic that they will apply to themselves for listening to science, they wouldn't even apply it to an animal. Like, if they were suddenly like, every lion that's born, or every lion that's born, we have to intervene and do something, PETA would be outside tomorrow freaking out. Leave them naturally in their, but us, forget it. They legitimately believe that vaccines are keeping their babies alive from the second they come out. That's scientism. That's a cult, right? You are part of a cult and a religion, and you don't understand the science of it at all. If I debate, when I say people call me an anti-vaxxer, I invite them on my show. They never come. The doctors, they never come. I'm like, I know how you get paid. I know every child is a check for you if they go through this system and they keep it, and it's all being funded by Big Pharma. And it is my belief that all of these pollutions, again, because I know that the spirit is real, that all of it is to pull you further away from what would actually be a very natural recognition within yourself. Like, you would feel that normally, you would feel this spiritual draw, this spiritual incline. They've lied to you. COVID, you should apply that logic and know that that system of lying was easier when there was no independent media.
Yeah, there's brainwashing. I believe you even spoke of like psychological terrorism.
It is.
That where if they're constantly trying to scare us into control, which I don't disagree on that, but I don't think there's this ultimate puppet master or this group of, I've looked for the group. I want to know who these guys are that are so rich and powerful that they pass it on to their, their offspring and their bloodlines, and they're all keeping the darkness in the world going. I can't find that physical group.
Well,
let's be real, like, Nick Cannon saying that, it's literally a joke, bro. Like, I get it. I get that he has to say it, but it's like, it's so cringe. And honestly, I wish he didn't say that. But literally, I don't know if you guys remember, Nick Cannon, a couple years ago, he said something about a certain group of people. And look, I'm not, hey, look, but he said something about a certain group of people. And then right after that, he was getting canceled. He had to literally apologize. What did he say? Okay, so he was dropped by Viacom. You can see this, guys. Viacom cuts ties with Nick Cannon. He apologizes. He lost a massive paycheck, so I don't know who controls anything. I really don't. I'm still looking for the group too, but it is interesting. Like, that there's certain people that you can't really talk about or, bring up. And if you do, you lose your partnership with Adidas and you no longer are a billionaire. But I think I'm talking about someone else, my bad.
Well, I'm telling you that the CIA is a part of a group and a global conspiracy to enslave mankind. So let's just go small picture here. The CIA, definitively. Okay. Definitively is a part of the small group of people that are controlling.
So
things,
then the CIA technically is bipartisan, right?
Okay, they're not bipartisan. That's the whole point. That they are not Democrat or Republican. This is like the gang. This is the gang that won. And you know what he said before he got shot in Dallas next to his wife as he was going down the street that day? JFK said he was going to scatter the CIA into a million pieces because it was corrupt. And then, unfortunately, he was involved in an accident, and that accident was he was shot. And the person who shot him said, "I didn't shoot him." That was Lee Harvey Oswald. But then, before he could testify about what did not happen, he was killed by a man named Jacob Rubenstein. And that guy, believe it or not, was MK Ultra'd. Before he could stand trial, he was deemed insane because a doctor working for the CIA went in there and gave him a cocktail of medicine to make him crazy. Now, what's funny about this is Kanye told me years ago, because I am not a person, I have to learn things in a book. I need to order the right books. I love to read. But he said something to me, and it sounded wild when he said it to me, that they like made him bipolar. I think he said that, and I don't want to misquote him, but he said something like they made me bipolar, and he was on one of his rants, and it was difficult for me to kind of discern what he meant. And I was there with him when Harley Pashnick was texting him like a totally normal trainer saying, we're going to put you back into a hospital and you'll never see your kids again. Totally normal for your gym trainer to be saying that to you. Totally normal stuff. I think he's an issue. But anyways, he had said that, and that did not make sense to me. I don't want to say it sounded crazy. It just didn't make sense to me. Then I read that book, Chaos. And that guy who got the FOIA requests and declassified the documents and read the conversations between the heads of the CIA and Dr. Sidney Gottlieb. And yeah, they wrote that they could give people schizophrenia, they could give people bipolar disorder via a cocktail of medicine. They can literally induce mental illness via a cocktail of medicine. So this reporter who did this book, by the way, he was like, not at all a conspiracy theorist. He was just a writer for Premiere magazine, and his name was Tom O'Neill. He was tasked by his editor to just write a quick like 30-year anniversary magazine article on the Manson murders. And he was like, oh, this is gonna be so boring. I've tapped this 1,000 times. It ended up taking him 22 years. Wow. Because he was like, this doesn't make sense. And then the FOIA request, he ended up getting fired from there. Book deal fell through. He dedicated 22 years of his life to investigating what the hell happened on that night that Americans were told there were these heinous murders that happened. And everything he learned was that there were operatives there that night. The judges were on the payroll, police officers, all, by the way, very much the same. And we don't need to get into this right now, but in
I want to say this. And this is something I don't know if I want to keep talking about, but secret societies are real, bro. And it actually gets me angry, bro. But there's certain secret societies that a lot of celebrities, politicians, influencers are a part of, right? And even people in the church, right? Like if you're part of the Divine Nine, which is like, this is like a black fraternity, you know, its roots is in Freemasonry. So there's a lot of black pastors and stuff who are literally a part of Freemasonry, and they're leading the church. For example, Jamal Bryant. I even saw a video of Lecrae. Lecrae at one point was a part of it. I don't think I've ever seen him openly denounce it. I know this is kind of like a tangent, but like when she says like everyone was in on it and stuff, like they might have all been a part of some secret society. They be doing the handshakes, weird type handshakes. You know what I'm talking about? But I know this is kind of a tangent. But let me pull up the video of Lecrae, because I believe Lecrae was he was in the fraternity as well. And I don't think I've ever heard anyone talk about it, but.
Hey! Work. I ain't got it like I work.
So that's Lecrae. That's Lecrae. And I've never seen anyone bring this up or anything. Has Lecrae denounced this? But my point being, a lot of people are involved in stuff like this. It's actually crazy. I know it's kind of a tangent. If you clicked off, your attention span is fried, bro. Keep watching.
Much the same, and we don't need to get into this right now, but in what's been put out in that Diddy lawsuit, it's literally the same area that it's happening. Like LA's got a lot of shady stuff happening here, a lot of evil stuff happening here, a lot of satanic stuff happening here. I wouldn't want to be an enemy of the CIA and live in LA. I'll say that for free. Like I wouldn't want to live here because I believe that they obviously do have LAPD police officers that are working for them. And a lot of the stuff that Kanye was saying that didn't make sense now makes perfect sense to me. But now I have I read this book and I've seen the files, and thankfully this journalist dedicated 22 years of his life to present to the public. You have to learn it. It's scary, but you have to confront it. But don't be scared also, because in the end, goodness does win. And that's where just the spirit of Christ comes in. Like, I know how this story ends. These people are evil. These people are demonic. These people are poisoning you. They are poisoning your children. They are poisoning your psychology every day. They have poisoned Black music. Is also what I want to say. That was my instinct. I was like, this is not Black music. Why am I hearing what sounds demonic coming out of people's mouths and what they're speaking about? And some artists have spoken out about the fact that they're being told to produce demonic music.
See, and again, I'm glad you brought that up. And the overarching, I believe either you said something like this in the past, but I know.
Before we continue, I'm pretty sure Nick Cannon has made music. I guarantee if we look into it, it's probably not, he wasn't being led by the Spirit of God. And so I don't even think he's really a Christian like that. Like, cause he says some weird spiritual stuff, vibrations, and, he'd be saying some weird stuff. I don't know if he's really a Christian, but like, he always kind of comes against what she's saying, even though it's blatantly true, because he either participated in it in the past or currently does participate in it. And so that's why he's not able to be honest about it. But if he repents and fully believes in Christ, you can look back on the stuff you did and you won't have to like kind of defend it. You could be like, nah, like I did do stuff like that, like, but it was wrong,
I'm paraphrasing here, that we probably believe the same thing, that ignorance, fear, and confusion is the devil's dominion in that sense. So that's where we're easily controlled, when we don't know, when we're scared, or when we're confused. And a lot of what I hear you saying is that it's not rooted in what we would deem as factual, like you're an avid reader like me. Like I'll read anything and try to understand it, but it's also like, all right, well, show me the evidence, which normally is like science, of that there are people controlling us through our music. Now, as a faith, based individual and someone I truly believe in spiritual warfare, I at least for my own psyche, I can say, okay, I see what's happening in Black music and in hip hop. I don't think there's a secret meeting going on that, and I've even heard about the secret meeting. I'm like, why? I want to know who was in those meetings that they were saying, I need you to say all of the horrible things about Black men and Black women. I need you to put satanic influences into songs and signs and symbolism. Like, to me, that is an energy that, or a spirit that can come upon people to make you want to do that, especially based off of their circumstances. If all I know is pain, strife, anger, hate, I'm going to now, put that back out or regurgitate that to my own community. And that in itself is a cycle of darkness and low frequency that we can be removed from. But to say that there's like these secret people coming in and telling us,
I don't think they're secret. I don't think they're secret at all. And there have been multiple artists that have spoken out and said that producers have encouraged them to.
But yeah, that's an individual.
But is that not to believe them?
That's an individual. So
sure,
because like I said, I can find the devil, and I can find the devil in gospel music if I wanted to. But I can also say, I can find the God, I can find the good in every aspect, whether it's Hollywood or not. Like, there's multiple things where if we even understand what entertainment was designed for, it ultimately is to relieve us of the stresses that everyday life brings upon us.
Right.
So again, you operate each and every day in a space of like, look, I'm on the front lines and I'm literally trying to help people understand and get clarity and hear the truth. But when that becomes confusing or it becomes rhetoric, and now I just see people with great brilliance just arguing back and forth about things that ultimately are not creating any gain for either one of the individuals, except for maybe ego to say, oh, I was right, or oh, I read this. Like, knowing your position and knowing what you can offer to the world, how do you differentiate between like, all right, I'm gonna just go ahead and I'm gonna do nothing but speak, against, the trans community, or I'm gonna speak against Black Lives Matter, or whatever that at the moment where you can say, clearly you're brilliant enough to be like, all right, I don't have to go out there with my sword swinging. I can take a softer approach. I can accept. I can love everyone, give everyone an opportunity, and still get the same message across because, like you just said, goodness is ultimately going to be the one to prevail if you truly believe that.
Yeah, well, goodness prevails when good speaks out. We can't just sit back and do nothing when we see it, and we have to call it like we see it.
You're gonna be like Peter and just go cut everybody's ear off.
Yeah, I'm not even.
But Jesus was like, Peter, fall back. Give my man his ear because he needs to hear this process.
I think it's interesting because I don't find myself to be offensive. I just think
everybody else does.
I know. That is correct. And I think the reason for that is because people don't like hearing the truth. And I think it's because they know it's the truth deep down and they have like a visceral response.
And I would agree with you. I would definitely agree with you until we start jumping into these spaces that sound very conspiracy theory. I used to be that guy. I was that guy that was like,
he used to be that guy until like he found out like, oh, this stuff really true and they got me. And now he's like, hey Candace, stop talking about that stuff. Like, please, like they're gonna get me again. Like, I don't know what he's talking about. Like, bro, there's like people like this. I feel like it, like low key, it's like you're saying like you don't even believe the devil is real. Like, it's like, bro, the devil is real. The devil is very organized. Like, he's meticulous. Like, this dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's just thinking, it's just a one-off thing. And then, like, no, like, there's literally whole entire businesses that are just built on trying to destroy people. Like, literally, like a porn company, like people who produce that, people who sell drugs. Like, bro, that's evil. Gangs, like, what is that? Like, a lot of this stuff, like, if you really look at it, go to the tippy top, like, these people are evil, straight up, like, communicating with Satan. Like, this stuff is organized, bro. And there might be some people who I just joined, I didn't know, but like, nah, this stuff is organized evil. It's really real, bro. The devil is real. It's not a conspiracy.
I used to be that guy. I was that guy that was like, they're trying to tear us down. And then to your point, which you often speak of, that becomes a victim-like mentality. So my message started to often being like, yes, the world's fucked up. Yes, there's so many, there's more enemies than we know. But I know the God within me and the God that I serve is gonna have them all fall into my feet when I walk into the room because I know the energy that I possess.
Yeah.
So therefore, I don't have to come in guns blazing because if we know the truth.
I'm sorry, like, I used to speak very similarly to Nick Cannon. The energy that I possess, like the God within me, like, it's like, it just sounds new agey, you know? And I'm not trying to nitpick, but it's like, he's saying all that stuff and like, he looking at Candace like, nah, we believe in the same God, right? But like, whole time, like, it's like, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't think we serve the same, because I think you might think you're God. Like, because that's what New Age is, really. A lot of that New Age stuff is you think you're your own God. You manifest reality.
And we know ultimately that goodness will prevail. Then why can't I lead with love and cut them off with compassion?
Well, I just don't think it's guns a-blazing to say, only women can give birth. And that's what I'll say, and people will lose their minds. Like that, I will be like,
but you'll say that in a setting of people who can't give birth.
But my point is just that it's just the truth. I'm not even here like, I'm not showing up where people are at and in their faces. They just don't know how to accept my audacity to just keep saying the truth. That is what, because I've thought about this. What is it about me that people are so triggered by? And it's my audacity. Right. Because we live in a world where people will bend to the spirit of evil. They will bend to the spirit of nonsense. They will allow every part of their reason to be stripped away so that they can fit in. And again, this gets into, and this is not conspiracy. In fact, we should stop using the word conspiracy theorist because we know that was a CIA term that they entered into the lexicon following the shooting of JFK. So they say the word conspiracy theory. That's all.
The theory is the only thing that's the problem. The conspiracy to conspire is not an issue.
Yeah, but that is the truth. And that is why we should just call it out when we see it. This is what's happening. These people are conspiring. Like, that's what I do. And here's a document you can look at to see when they've done it in the past, and this is what's happening now. And I also listen to people. I don't gaslight people. So if an artist comes to me and says, I've been told to record something demonic, or I had a conversation with Amber Rose, and she a couple of weeks ago, and it was a lot of her telling me that she was basically just being pushed by people that you need to be more sexual, I accept that obviously at a certain point, and this gets into why you were saying why I won't bend for money, I wouldn't do it. I'm built different, But I also acknowledge that these people are being pushed in a certain direction. Women, you're being told, can you make it sexier? I will not accept. The conspiracy to me is to try to convince me that the times have changed, and we went from, in the Black community, producing Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston to what really Black people really want to hear right now is Sexy Red. And so that's the reason why these record labels are going to Sexy Red and offering her a deal. I refuse to believe that. Okay, so yes, power is held by these labels when they go out, and I don't mean that as any disrespect to her. What I am saying is that frequencies are real.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
Frequencies impact your spirit.
You finally you start saying them words of new age frequency, like vibrations are real. He's like, yes, like that's when he was getting tuned out. He was tuning out, and then she said and manifestation, and he's like, yes, like, bro, that's hilarious, bro.
You and I know that.
There's been brothels and strip clubs and stuff since the oldest profession.
I'm talking about music.
So,
right?
Okay, and like you said,
I'm talking, yes, and you are correct, but Confucius said, listen to the music.
And you'll be able to know the
and there's a reason for that.
Society.
He knew this. This Chinese philosopher knew this back when, and this people who, in my viewpoint, have a lot of power in the music industry also understand that. There is no reason to fight to put filth on the airways and then try to convince people that it's free speech.
Because it's
in fact,
profitable.
I will tell you a non-conspiracy that you can look up right now, and I'm going to blank on his name, but there is a guy, and if I grab my phone, I'll be able to look it up for you. Literally on his Wikipedia page, it literally says, we created pornography, because I believe the eyes and the ears are the window to the soul, to crush Christianity. He just said in an open statement, this is why we created pornography. This is why and this was back in the 70s. He was the person that brought hardcore porn to the scene. He was like, this is the reason why, to crush Christianity. He said this openly. So it's not a conspiracy when a person is telling you why they control the pornography industry and what they're trying to do. And pornography impacts spirit. Okay?
Pornography definitely impacts spirit.
People want more demented and more deranged. They don't even know what healthy sex is. All of this is not by accident. So when they outwardly tell you what they're doing, and I'm going to get his name for you because I want to make sure that people can look this up.
It'll be in the comments.
On his Wikipedia, where he literally said that. This is why we control the pornography industry, to crush Christ. We hate Catholics and we hate Christianity. Now you say today, is that a conspiracy? If I quote him, and I'm going to have to get his name because otherwise people are going to be like, what is his name? What's his name? And I'll pin it whenever you put this episode out. Yeah. But I thought there's no way this person, sure enough, he said it. I'll tell you who he is. He was the founder of Screw Magazine.
Right. I mean, and that sounds logical. Like, to me, that's not as...
Let's look into that. Let's fact check it. Al Goldstein. That's an interesting name. Like, that's a cool, like, Al Goldstein. Al Goldstein was the publisher of Screw Magazine, who smashed down U.S. legal barriers against pornography and raged against politicians, organized religion, and good taste. He felt that the cultural and religious establishment had convinced his generation that sex was wrong and turned them into a lot of embarrassed people who bought nudie magazines on the sly. So he was literally coming against Christianity, coming against Jesus Christ. Al Goldstein. I don't know where this guy's from. I don't even want to guess. I don't know what type of group. I'm sorry. Let's go back to the video.
There's the
conspiracy is against
agenda.
Christ. That's my belief. I believe, and that's why I say you have to start with understanding that there is a conspiracy. Okay. But it's not a conspiracy theory. There is a conspiracy.
It's a conspiracy.
And it is a conspiracy against Christ. Okay? Which is why I say,
Spiritual
how
warfare.
is Hollywood, how is it plausible that it is a literal inversion of the Bible? They don't agree with one point, not even one point of the Bible. We can't even say women and men are different anymore. Like, can we agree on one point? They're like, no, we have to take the Bible and say everything about it is wrong.
But can we zoom out just a little bit? And just even to your point, if there's a conspiracy against Christ, which is your spiritual beliefs of like, this is the right way to live your life, the good way.
The way, the truth, and the light.
The truth and the life. There's a balance in that sense of like, there's good and evil.
And look. And based on how he's talking, it's getting more abundantly clear that Nick Cannon does not believe what I believe and what a lot of you guys watching this believe, right? And so prior to this part right here, some of you guys, and this is what bothers me. Some of you guys get mad when I say, man, I don't think Nick Cannon really believes what I believe. Oh, you're judging. And first of all, judging isn't even wrong. It's not inherently wrong. The Bible doesn't inherently say like, oh, judging is wrong. The Bible says to judge righteously. It's John chapter 7, verse 24. I'm pretty sure. What it is, I'm not judging. I have discernment and you don't. And what you should do, because I'm trying to speak to the people who got mad at me, because I know there's at least one person who got mad at me for what I said. But now it's becoming more clear that what I said was true. The only reason why I knew it is because I have discernment, which is given to you by God. So the reason why I knew and you didn't is because you don't have discernment. Go pray for discernment, bro. Stop getting offended by like what people say, bro. Go get discernment, bro. But that's my tangent.
So in that, why can't we just say, because all you're talking spirituality, you're not talking individualism. You're not saying that this individual is looking to, or even like the man that you just described, he was saying he had such a vitriol response to organized religion or whatever, Catholicism, that he was saying, I'm going to do something in this space to therefore try to tear that down, which we know he can't tear it down because it's the ultimate power. It's the truth, the way, and the light. So we can point fingers at that individual, but you can't say that he's the one ultimately controlling all things evil just because he's the one that spoke out against
No, but I
porn.
was just saying that if I had not produced, this is one of the founders of pornography in America. So because how do we get to this? How do we start from everyone's going to church, families are together, to now OnlyFans, right? Pornography was introduced into the American psyche for a reason, and it is in a war against your spirit. It is meant to disrupt your relationships. It's meant to pollute the idea of monogamy. It is a weapon. I want to be very clear. Pornography is a weapon. Okay? I'm going to have you look up Sav, founder of Screw Magazine. Al Goldstein.
Yeah.
Go to his Wikipedia page. You'll find the direct quote of what Al Goldstein said. I actually want you to find the direct quote of what Al Goldstein said about Christianity. Now, if I had said it and it wasn't Al Goldstein, I'd be called a conspiracy theorist. Right? This is one of the weapons. Pornography is one of the weapons that is being used against Christ. And people today, you have to go all the way back and now people go, oh, it's about First Amendment. This is not about the First Amendment. Okay? Watching people essentially, what I would say is act out a demonic fetish is not, okay, they understand that it's real, but they're going to tell you that this is just free speech. No, you are watching
liberation.
This is not liberation. This is enslavement. You are watching rituals. Demons are jumping inside of you when you watch this stuff. Now, I wouldn't have said this when I was in high school, because I learned in high school, in health class, in sex ed, that it's healthy to watch a little bit of porn. Do you not see a conspiracy in that?
It's a little healthy to know what's going on.
No, it's not.
Bro, even with like masturbation, right? If you look it up, like they literally say, oh, masturbation is good for your prostate health. Look at it, the health benefits of masturbation and ejaculation. With or without a partner, masturbation may have several health benefits, and it can lower your prostate cancer risk. They always say stuff like that, but it's literally not true. The Bible says that sexual immorality is the only sin against your own body. But I think I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna watch the rest myself. Yeah, if you want to watch the full video, I'll put the link in the description. But hey, look, but nothing against Nick Cannon. It's questionable. But honestly, he's probably on the right path. You know, he's willing to even platform people like Candace Owens. A lot of people aren't comfortable doing that, you know. And so I think it was a good thing that he experienced getting canceled a couple years ago, because, you know, I feel like it gives him sympathy for people who also get canceled, because he knows what it was like, you know. So I'm not trying to be mean to him, but it's just questionable, a lot of the stuff he says. He be saying vibrations, and it sounds weird, bro. I'm gonna be real, but like, he can always repent and stuff. I used to believe that stuff. Like, I believe that stuff too at one point. I was deep in that, you know. But not trying. I'm just saying. I don't know what that is, you know. But yeah. Anyway, overall, good video. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, watch my other videos, and yeah, bye.